I decided to make a video just talking about some of my favorite bands, giving you my top 5. I don't know why I decided to do this music review thing. I think the Metallica album coming out kind of sparked my interest to do this and just share my input on different things. So here I am. I've done like 5 videos today. All right. So I would say my favorite band, my top favorite band of all time, is Blind Guardian. And the reason for this is I really love fantasy. I really love the atmosphere and the different worlds that Blind Guardian seem to take me to when I listen to them. I like their musical ability. They're incredibly talented, amazing singer, can do some great harmonies, operatic. Their lead guitar player, Andre Olbrich, is just an amazing lead guitar player. He's not always the fastest, but he's very, very hard on the melodies. He's very good at melody, and that's just what makes the band so good. Between Andre and Hansi Kirsch, the singer, they are just very focused on melody, and they're one of those bands that always try to achieve something bigger and better with each release. Now, I think they kind of hit a plateau and kind of went backwards a little bit with that philosophy, but they're still an amazing band. So that is why I put them first, and they're all about the art. You can honestly tell that. Second, oh boy, well, it is my second favorite band. I can almost put like Demons and Wizards and like Iced Earth in the same category. Iced Earth is just a special band to me. I discovered them when I was like 15 years old. They, whenever Metallica, I was like, okay, they're never going to put out a good album because they did Saint Anger, and I'm like, okay, I got to find something new, something similar, and I found Iced Earth, and I just absolutely loved the heavy guitar. It was like Metallica, but then you had like these melodies that were like Iron Maiden, and Iron Maiden was a band I was just starting to get into, I think, at that time. It took me a little bit of time to get into, those type of clean vocals like Matt Barlow, but when it caught on, and they became one of my top favorite bands for sure. So I guess that could be number 2. Number 3. Oh, this could be hard. Oh, this is so hard. I do these things on the fly, so maybe Rage. I'm going to say Rage right now from Germany. Not Rage Against the Machine. I don't even really like that band. I'm talking about Rage from Germany, led by P.V. Wagner. Why do I like Rage? Well, let me tell you something. It's pretty impressive when you got a band that's put out like, how many albums? Like 24, 25 albums. And if you wanted to even stretch that, you can count Avenger and Refuge and for another couple albums. So they got 27 albums? And then there's an album called 10 Years in Rage, which has got like unreleased material on it. That's almost an album. So for a band that's been around since like the early to mid 80s, they've sure done a lot, more than any band that I know of right now that I personally listen to. So that's what makes Rage amazing. And it's just not just quantity over quality or anything. There's lots of quality. There's not one Rage album that I would call bad. I mean, there's obviously some I like more than others, but I would never call any Rage album bad. You've got good Rage albums, great Rage albums, and perfect Rage albums. That's it. They go anywhere from an old school speed metal sound to like a Halloween sound. They've done like more of a traditional metal sound. They've had some modern sounds, but I don't know. Rage is just a cool band. They've even done like little symphonic things here and there with the Laguna Mortis Orchestra. Very good band, and they just never really disappoint. So yeah, 3 I would have to go to Rage just for their sheer consistent quality and awesomeness. Number 4, I'm going to say Gamma Ray. I love Gamma Ray. I love Kai Hansen. He was in Helloween. I also like Helloween a lot, but Gamma Ray to me is like the I don't want to say like the true continuation to Helloween when Kai left, but I can't help it. I like the way Kai took Gamma Ray opposed to the way Helloween took Helloween. Not that Helloween's bad now, or it was bad after Kai left, but Kai put out albums like oh shoot, why can't I think? Land of the Free. Land of the Free to me is like up there with the Keeper of the Seven Keys Part 1 and 2, 110%. Then they did Somewhere Out in Space, also up there with Keeper of the Seven Keys. Power Plant, I mean, I don't know, that to me that's like a power metal version of Painkiller. Then you got No World Order, that's like a power metal version of Painkiller Part 2, at times anyway. So I don't know, like Gamma Ray is just freaking awesome. The only thing that made Gamma Ray go a little further down on my list is the fact that they kind of did drop a bit in quality after their album Majestic. Well, the problems kind of started with Majestic and got incredibly worse afterwards. Lots of plagiarism, and not even self-plagiarism. We're talking like straight up rip-offs of Judas Priest, Iron Maiden. So yeah, so Gamma Ray has just been really like guilty of ripping off bands like really bad, and it's mainly Judas Priest that he rips off. He's ripped off Queen. I don't know, I just don't understand why he does this when he's like maybe the grandfather of power metal, if you want to call him that. I don't know, or the father of power metal, whatever you want to call him. He was a very, very important person in the genre, and he's ripping off Judas Priest. Like I don't know. So that's my 4th favorite band. 5th, man, I would like to say Gravedigger, because they've really been a pretty consistent band. Lots of quality. Though Chris Boltondoll, I've kind of met him a couple of times. He doesn't seem like the most friendliest guy in the whole world. Or I've met all of the other bands with the exception of Gamma Ray, and they've all been really cool to me, but I didn't really get that feeling from Gravedigger, so I've kind of listened to them a little less over the years. But musically they're pretty great. But number 5, I would probably have to give it to Running Wild, just because, I mean, they're not without faults. I've never met not Chris Bolton. I never met Rock and Rolf before, and I've always wanted to see them live. But I know one thing, I love their metal, and it's pirate metal in theme, but they're really not what you think. They're not like this cheesy, let's sing about peg legs and eye patches type of pirate metal band. That's really not at all what it is. So a lot of people get turned off when they see the pirate thing, and it's like, dude, Ailstorm's cheesy and corny. Running Wild's really not. I mean, they're really more, they sing about history and the Wild West and all kinds, they got all kinds of themes, not just pirates. And the cheesiest thing they do is maybe Under Jolly Roger. That's like the cheesiest thing that they've, I mean, that's about the worst as it gets. So I don't know, Running Wild's just awesome. The only thing that they're really, really guilty of and just kind of funny is when all of a sudden, after like the year 2000 on, they started using drum machines in the studio, and Rolf did not want to admit it, and said that they actually had a drummer by the name of Angelo Sasso. Not a real person, really just a drum machine. I don't know what that was about, but that was probably the biggest, goofiest thing that I can probably find from Running Wild. And their music's kind of been on a decline since the year 2000 on. Otherwise, they were like a perfect band. Like they never really like did anything bad or awful or anything. It's just, but 2000 on, it's just been they had a few duds there, and it's really sad to see because I don't know what happened. It's like Rolf just lost the fire or something, but I still love the band. But anyway, those are my top 5. There's some I would love to put on there, but I'll be honest, I would love to put Iron Maiden on there. I probably could have. I don't know. It's just such a hard... I just kind of go by the bands that kind of got me going the most, that kind of got me started, and the ones I'm kind of just looking back. It's a personal thing for me, but yes, I do love Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden's probably in my... Well, they could technically be better than like Running Wild or even like Gravedigger, but I don't know. I love these bands for their own reasons, and I do love Iron Maiden. I also love Judas Priest. It would be hard for me to put Judas Priest on a top 5 list only because there's inconsistency, like horrible inconsistency, but I don't know. And I don't really have any pure thrash bands because honestly, even though I like thrash, I like power metal a little more for the melody. It's less of a one-trick pony to me because thrash is more about just banging your head, while power metal, at least the kind of power metal I like, is the type that can make you bang your head too. Like, it's thrashy as well. So so I don't know. Like, it's just kind of me. But yeah, there's my top 5. You know, that could change around one day. I don't know. It could change tomorrow. But that's where I'm going with it right now. See you guys later.